Hi, my name is Heather Bendl, and I am from Round Lake Beach, Illinois, but currently live in Edgewater, Florida, just south of Daytona. My children and I's story begins in Chicagoland in 2020 during the pandemic. I had divorced my ex-husband, Justin Serlich, in June 2013, but Justin refused to move out of my home with my children in Fox Lake, Illinois. You see, his mother, Mary Serlich, had threatened me that if I removed Justin Serlich from my home after our divorce, Mary would make sure that I never saw my children again. Yet, even after our divorce, he continued to abuse my children. He continued to essay myself. In 2020, during the pandemic, my children and I sought help from a safe place of Zion, Illinois, a domestic violence shelter. Through a safe place, we were guided on making police reports for the child abuse and SA. In September 2020, they had me take my two children, these two, to Lake County Children's Advocacy Center in Gurnee, Illinois, to give their recorded statements of the child abuse inflicted upon them by Justin Serlich. October 8th, 2020, Illinois DCFS investigator Jessica Lyman kidnapped them from Kitty Cottage Daycare in Fox Lake, Illinois. She did not have a court order. She did not have a business card. She did not have a state ID. She took my children from the daycare and they disappeared from my life October 8th, 2020. October 13th, 2020, Justin Serlich told Judge Christopher Morosin that I am an unfit parent and I have mental health issues. At that point, Judge Christopher Morosin made my children wards of the state and put a gag order on me that was in place until December 28th of 2023, violating my First Amendment. They were then child trafficked by Camelot Care, caseworker Elizabeth Tevis, Kayla Davis, and Scott Cox for over a year. In August 2021, Justin Serlich ordered my children down to Daytona, Florida, through guardian ad litem Kathleen McGee of Vernon Hills, Illinois. My children were then signed over to Justin Serlich illegally, violating my constitutional, civil, and human rights because I was never charged with anything, and my children should have never left the state of Illinois. I am now in Daytona, Florida since December 2021 and still have no access to my children whatsoever. The four players in the state of Illinois were Judge Christopher Morosin, Judge Lombardo, Reginald Matthews, and Marty Slavin. Michael G. Nurheim was the state attorney responsible for prosecuting Justin Serlich in 2020. Michael G. Nurheim is now a judge in Illinois Circuit 19, appointed by Governor J.B. Pritzker. When I opened my Florida Circuit 7 case here in Daytona in 2023, I had expectations that I would have access to my children. Yet to this day, May 2025, I have now lost 5 full years with my children. Judge Stasia Warren of Florida Circuit 7 signed an illegal contempt order ordering me to pay my rapist $1,785 a month through his attorney, Serena Baldacchino of Rice Law Firm. When I put in a motion to vacate that, I was denied immediately. I pulled a public records request in December 2024, and within 2 hours, Judge Stasia Warren recused herself from my case here in Daytona. Through that public records request, I found out that Michael G. Nurheim of Illinois had contacted my then attorney, Mary Jane Nettles, and Mary Jane Nettles emailed his personal cell phone number to Judge Stasia Warren of Florida Circuit 7 and Serena Baldacchino of Rice Law Firm. My case here in Florida Circuit 7 has been stalled out for over a year now, thanks to Michael G. Nurheim of Illinois Circuit 19. I now have a new judge, Judge Sanders C. Upchurch, who rubber stamps a denial with every single one of my motions since the moment I file. I am now in Florida Appellant Court District 5, still fighting to gain any access to my children whatsoever. So my children were kidnapped from me in the state of Illinois, Circuit 19, child trafficked by Illinois Circuit 19 and Camelot Care for over a year, and then dumped in Daytona, Florida with their abusive non-custodial parent who has been withholding any and all contact with my children for 5 full years now. My name is Heather Bendl. My 4 children and I are victims of Illinois Circuit 19 and Florida Circuit 7 family court fraud, and I demand an investigation.